Wow, Hollow is back from his 9-month pregnancy leave.
No, I wish. But I was actually imprisoned in a highly secure facility for reasons I cannot share due to legal consequences, but luckily enough, I've actually managed to settle a deal with the jurisdiction system and be put on probation with only a few counts of misdemeanor and battery. They had no other option to let me out when they've realized that my fellow inmates were in danger because of me.
Why would they be in danger because of you, Hollow?
You may innocently ask. Let's just say I was filled with excitement when the judge told me that I'm going to an Omen prison. Once I've ripped open the prison doors and with my monstrous forearms, the judge had no other option but to let me out.
You were young and you're black.
So, here I am, today, a changed man. I've decided to switch gears today and talk about eternal salvation. What's going to happen to your soul when you die? Or, we can talk about how shitty Type Soul is. Let's go with how shitty Type Soul is, and maybe later we'll talk about when you're going to hell. That's right, because if you watch this channel, you're probably going to hell. Let's go to the chase. Type Soul, without any shadow of a doubt, is in the worst state it's ever been, and I really want to go in depth as to why. 1. Testers and the balance team are a fucking joke. This whole balance team shit started as a suggestion that I made, which was then pushed by Setcho. And then guess what? The whole balance team shit was just used as a means of entertainment, like how the Romans made the fucking Colosseum for slaves to fight tigers and shit. But rather, this was for watching twink shut and losers argue over whose build is more cancer and for what to get nerfed.
If we look at so many other things, you like to say that here.
You like to say there's so many copy
Paste shit in the game. There is so many other shit that these niggas use old shit.
Look at Kyoka.
That shit have mirror tempo and other bullshit shit.
You're still not listening.
Let me finish.
Let me finish, bro. Because like at this point, I'll let you win because I'm not gonna go back and forth about this shit.
Bro,
but I'm trying
you
to.
You didn't listen to anything I said. I hate.
It's cool, bro.
I hate how niggas try to like talk back to me, but they don't listen to anything I said. I said they copy and paste. They change the values. I said Nova doesn't change the values, bro.
You're right.
You're over here saying, "Oh, what other dev?"
That's why you're going back and forth over the
dumbest shit, nigga. I let you talk. Let me talk. God damn.
Are you a
female? Holy shit. Just like no, nigga. You're just stupid.
Wait, I'm trying to be simple with you.
Daddy, chill.
I didn't even say.
After that whole clown fiesta, they wanted to play it fair, have it actually be a means to win and have some sort of authority over the game. Wanna know what happened when it was remade? Over 45 mods got invited and it became a fucking mod hangout for irrelevant sniveling pussies with no actual substance in society to circle jerk each other and snarkle behind their monitors with their quirky little comments. It was to the point where if you made an even somewhat questionable suggestion, you wouldn't even be added to have a healthy conversation as to potentially explain why you're wrong and why they're right. They'd gather like fucking cavemen and throw stones at you because that's the environment they lived in their whole lives. Unfortunate orphans getting shoved in lockers at school by day and philanthropist entrepreneurs with hundreds of women on Discord by night. Just a pathetic bunch of pigs. They'd at you, say some shit like, "You're so retarded, LOL." And the moment you'd say something back, they'd have a fucking bind on their keyboard to add their other 25 boyfriends, and then the Diddy party would begin. 2. The game will die eventually.
I come before you today, humbled and humiliated, to ask you for one thing. I want you to kill
Type Soul.
No shit, Sherlock, right? But it's not anytime soon, really. See, the Type Soul player base has a very toxic relationship with the game. They fucking hate the game, and they wish they could play something else, but the thought of starting something new, or let alone trying a new game, is torture for them. So, what do? They keep coming back to the game. They keep smelling the syrup. Here's a screenshot showing exactly that. 30,000 new players and over 300,000 returning players, and this is on re-release. People only come back to the game because of the familiarity. They know the game is shit, yeah, but it's all they have. League of Legends players suffer of the same disease. There's no competition for Type Soul, and people don't have anything to play, so they'll keep coming back to the game. But in due time, Paradox or Pantera will release, but until then, Type Soul can screw up as many times as they want. Even if hell is a shithole, people will still play because they will always have a returning audience even though the game has absolutely zero retention. They don't add any meaningful content. They make a shrift or new weapon to revitalize the meta, give people another reason to hang themselves, and then they call it content. The only reason people even tolerate this game is the PvP, which is more insufferable with every little notification that pops up in the update log channel. It's like Type Soul is a new League of Legends. I haven't seen anybody not be spoken to in a derogatory way for playing this game, and I haven't seen anyone who plays this game and actually enjoys it. They all sound like they're one clan war away from cutting an artery. They think shit like grinding adds player retention, even though the game performs like a toaster and nobody's interested in playing. It's so bad. I call my friend who was a Prestige Type Soulian and I ask him to play some. The guy just answers me with a blunt no, to which then I ask him, what are you doing? And he goes, nothing. Yes, if you haven't realized, he literally rather stare into his white bedroom walls as if he's performing an ancient Chinese torture method, all as a means of not playing type shit. The game should have never released. They're back at square one, shitty code, zero content. They should have just made the game from the ground up. 3. Zero communication, transparency, or teamwork. Do you guys think they don't talk to you enough as a community? They don't even fucking talk to us, the devs, let alone the testers. To give you an image, just think of a tumbleweed in every single management channel. No conversation, no hello, no good morning. What are we doing? Do you like anal? Possibly? Want to try? Maybe? Same for the balance changes. Why do you think you're seeing these patch notes where they say one thing and then they're reverting it? Because they don't run shit by each other and then end up fighting. And there's literally only bad blood between the team members. I have never seen a development team where everyone is out for each other's necks, rage baiting, begging to argue or cherry pick the slightest bullshit. And I mean, honestly, I can't complain. What can I expect of hot-blooded teenagers? Not only is it them against the world, it's also them against themselves. The dev team has a hierarchy of people with huge egos, and this causes mistreatment and invalidation of valuable opinions just because they don't have a certain role in a Roblox group or Discord server. Not to mention the communication is completely screwed because of this. They feel that people quote-unquote lower than them don't need to know what they're doing, despite the fact that these quote-unquote lower people are actively working on the game. For some context, I told one of the developers, I won't mention who, that there's zero transparency in the dev team, and he just said that we're quote-unquote doing stuff, I just don't want to tell you because you're just a lowly contributor. So whatever rose-colored picture you guys have of the balance team and the management team, it is the complete opposite of what you think it is. 4. Lagginess and bugs. It's all it really comes down to, because trust me, people would still be interested in playing even if the meta was cancer, which it is. There's a leak in the code that is just making the game a laggy mess. The PvP feels clunky and janky and disgusting. I mean, look at this clip. I throw out my spine rend and it unironically comes out a whole second later. You're basically King Crimson 24/7 just cutting through fucking time every ability you press. You can't parry, you can't dodge, God forbid. You can't even throw out your abilities without feeling like your internet's made out of hay. Wanna know why? Because there's maybe at most 2 dudes out of the 10 developers actively working on fixing this janky piece of shit game. And that fucking gargantuan KT map they paid Laundry 2 million Robux for, where you'd have to do a prayer each time you'd gank somebody so you wouldn't lose them, I unironically got less lost on Silent Hill than in the new KT map, and Silent Hill is a foggy fucking game. In any case, the guy who made the KT map made it 32 cylinders in buildings that you couldn't even interact with. To dumb it down for you, you know how there's games where they look good on the inside and interactable buildings, and then you have filler buildings that only look good on the outside but have zero detail on the inside if you no-clip inside of them? That's called low poly and is done to preserve FPS and ping. Boring stuff, right? Well, this dude made the unenterable buildings highly detailed, making the game significantly more laggy. 5. I'm being targeted. Firstly, I started out playing Quincy Keto from the release of Type Soul, those beautiful days, and I enjoyed it for a while. It was like I was JFK running for presidency, feeling like the king. One beautiful day, I get fucking headshotted. Boom! My build completely taken off the face of the earth. And then, after taking such a heavy loss, I licked my wounds and hit the ground running, embracing the ways of Hakuda just to be fucking shot in the head again. Another fucking rework. But, hold on here. Plot twist. This time, I actually survived. Because I'm Trump. My head was almost shot off, but thankfully, it was just my ear. I'm still kicking. Buggy dumpster fire. I mean, it is genuinely fucking mind-boggling how the game could release and be unplayable. I'm talking unresponsive serverless, UI that doesn't even work, matchmaking all fucked up, clan wars didn't work for a solid 2 weeks when it released, and when it finally did, the serverless didn't. Just an absolute fuckfest. It's like playing a game of Among Us, but there's 10 imposter just constantly sabotaging every fucking side of the map. Promised elements that never came out. Held that on away like a baby, ready to burst his mother's uterus. Oh, well, the game isn't fucking playable. You people believe anybody would sit down and play this shit? It is horrid. I was rage baiting in the Warhammer 40k Discord, and some random 40-year-old who probably has a son my age asked me, oh, you work for Type Soul? Isn't that game with the pedophile owner? What? 7. Cancer meta. Every single time I've queued Clan Wars, I've been shell-shocked by the retarded shit I lose to. It's all just button-mashing pieces of shit with retarded builds. Storm, now, Ashcrit, the new variants. I mean, do you guys remember the days when Type Soul was in a drought? When you had to black market a true hog or sell your soul to Androxus the Demon to somehow get one as a drop? When being a true variant basically made you an unkillable entity to anyone who wasn't also a true variant? It's the same angle. It is genuinely impossible to be any of the new variants if they're not some human centipede. Oh, the Let's Arrows, Aceros, the Anomaly shit, list goes on. The elements are borderline retarded. There hasn't been a single element that's been released and hasn't been heavily used in the meta to the point it got nerfed to the ground or is still being meta slaved. Wanna know why? Because they don't give a fuck about playability when they're making a new weapon or element. And I've seen this first person. They don't think about how it will actually fit into the meta. They don't question, hey, is this healthy for the game? They question if it's fucking cool, which most often it isn't. The whole process is 1. Find something that looks cooler on another game series anime. Media rip the fuck out of it. 3. Release it and have it dominate the meta. 4. Nerf it in the slightest and it becomes terrible, or buff it in the slightest and it becomes OP. It's the same continuous cycle. And unfortunately, this whole meta won't ever change because Type Soul is the sort of game where the people caring for it take it for granted and only actually appreciate it when it's gone. A unnecessary Hakuda rework. This whole Hakuda shit started as an inside joke, just for them to actually fucking follow through with it. And I'm genuinely baffled at how bad it turned out. Did we really not expect Hakuda to be retarded broken? When have you guys ever seen a rework in Type Soul not go sideways? Nova's Quincy Keto rework, for example. This never should have happened. All of this rework bullshit never should have happened and should just be reverted because it's what made Type Soul Type Soul, and Hakuda just isn't enjoyable to use anymore, nor actually optimal with anything outside of the constant pressure elements like Storm or Light or some shit. It's disgusting. You're literally forced to meta slave or lose, and the current Hakuda, which got a bunch of nerfs, is terrible. It is unenjoyable, dog shit, horrible. Anyways, there are infinitely more exciting things for me to do in the future than play fucking Type Soul. That game, it is horrid. I've been enjoying Space Marines 2 and all sorts of other games. Animes too. ReZero has been fucking amazing. Absolutely. Dawn as well, dude. But yeah, see you guys next month.